But really, there is something just very, God damn it, I can't think of the word. There's something very, it's not metaphorical, but like, yeah, his tooth fell out, but it just seems to like symbolic, be a very nice picture. Symbolic, thank you. I don't know why I could not find that word. It seems very symbolic of everything. Yeah, that this person, because there are the people that don't want us to have health care, and it's just whatever. Not getting political, but that's very symbolic, I think. Holy shit. Although I want to say that, after last week, and obviously why that show got so political was because there just wasn't a whole lot of other things to think about. Mm-hmm. And I found myself just wrapped into the internet, just constantly looking at it, looking at the news. It drove me fucking nuts, and that resulted in us just rambling like too much about it. So I kind of made the decision to like quiet the noise, for the past several days. And I started, going out and just kind of feeling, going out into public, and you feel what things feel like. And when you're out and about on the street, and you're talking to your neighbors, and there's people who disagree with you political, but they're still your friends, and everything still seems like pretty normal. And like when I'm living in the world that exists around me, it seems pretty all right. And then you go online, and it's just a fucking full-on civil war. Mm-hmm. And it's like the scariest thing ever. And I mean, there's a lot of threats to be worried about with things that are going on, but it's just really bizarre how there's like this online universe that, at least for me, maybe it feels different in Wisconsin. And I wanted to ask you how it's been feeling for you, like when you're working and going all about as well.
I mean, like, you still see it a little bit. It's calming down significantly, whereas, before the election actually happened, I've talked about the Trump train shit that was going on, and it was like getting pretty hostile even just in public. But when you now that it's calmed down a little bit, and like just also doing the same thing where I've kind of taken a step back and not looking at it as much, which, generally I try to do anyway, but last week it was just pretty unavoidable. But
well, it's scary. You want to be informed about what's going on. So
right. Yeah, and I can still now, I'm kind of reminded of back in spring when the George Floyd protests were going on in town here, and a bunch of people came with like assault weapons and like blue stripe American flags and all this shit, and all the people that were putting on the BLM demonstration were just like standing in the band shell and just like trying to have a peaceful little couple few speeches and just say, we're all in this together, and everyone deserves equality, and then just walk around town with some signs, and that was going to be the end of it. But all these people showed up, and they're just trying to be as intimidating as possible and just like shouting the national anthem over people trying to speak. And I only went to 2 of them, but and only one of them was the bigger one that I'm talking about with the weapons and everything. But I ran into my mechanic there that has a shop right next door to me, and he was definitely not he was not there for the same reasons I was there. But all the same, like, I can still.
But you still work with him.
Yeah, like I still, I talked to him for a little bit there. Like, it was a pretty damn awkward conversation, but in the time since then, I could still walk out and catch him outside, and we'll shoot the shit for a while. Like, it's no big deal. So. Well,
and that's the type of scene I think that actually should be happening more. Instead of these protests gathering against each other to try to shout their message. Really, it should be a conversation between the two sides. Okay, you have things you're worried about. We have things worried about. We believe that our problems are worse than yours, and I strongly believe that the Black Lives Matter protests are way more important than this made-up bullshit. But again, without getting too political, we need to see more people just talking to one another. And that's just what I find interesting is, like, we go on the internet and you can just start like, oh, how does this dumbass think this? How does that person think that? Well, first of all, you don't even know that they're an American. There's a very good likelihood that this is like a Russian troll you're devoting your time getting like fucking worked up about, you know? And you get so angry on there. But then, you know, not to be redundant, but you go outside and life, like, we don't want to kill our neighbors. You don't want to be in a war against your mechanic, even though and he doesn't want to be in a war against you, even though, you know, like, you both understand you're coming from different places. Mm-hmm. But these ideas that we're fighting against, like, it's, I don't know, like, there's no face on the internet. So you're just fighting ideas, you know, and things just get a lot more real when we're actually in real life. And I think that's an important thing for, like, all of us to remember. And it's just like, I don't think there's going to be explosive devices set up like in public areas. Like, we're not going to have people trying to start war at the grocery store, but our state capitals and all that need to be seriously like on lockdown, you know? Well, I'm just saying, like, these people think they're fighting the government, so they want to fight the government. They don't want to fight the general public. They think they're fighting for America, you know? It's just it's just a fucking bizarre time we live in, but it'll all be good. It'll all work out.
In the spirit of keeping things lighter, you want to play a game?
Yeah, what do you got in mind?
So, this isn't the official name thus far, but so far the only thing I can think of is 2 horses and a bull. And so, what I got for you is, I got 2 country songs that are real, and one that I made up. And I'm going to give you the artist, the name of the song, and a little excerpt of the lyrics, and I want you to figure out which one of these is fake.
Right Sound on. Good? Oh, this is great. This is great. Yeah. Lay it on me, brother.
All right. So my first one that I got for you is by Luke Combs, and it's called When It Rains, It Pours. So here's part of the lyrics. I got the last spot in the Hooters parking lot, and the waitress left her number on my check with a heart. She picked up on the first ring when I gave her a call, and I only spent $5 at the Moose Lodge raffle. Won a used four-wheeler and 3 free passes for me and 2 of my buddies to play a round of golf. And I ain't got to see my ex-future mother-in-law anymore. Oh, Lord, when it rains, it pours. So that's number 1.
And there's a chance, and 2 of these are real.
Yep.
There's only one that's going to be fake, right? Okay, yep. Okay. Holy shit.
So these are going to be good. Second one I got for you. I almost feel like I should say it in a weird accent, but I'm not going to even try to do that. I just want to throw you off as much as possible. But the second one I got for you, this is Billy Whitehead, a song called Bucket of Mud. We've been ripping around these back roads, tearing it up, turning my old truck bed into a bucket of mud. Girlie's in her tight jeans, sitting right next to me, smiling as I'm thinking about what's underneath. All right. Jesus. So number 3.
That seemed to be less lyrics. There seemed to be less lyrics for that one than for the other one. I'm just trying to pick up on clues here. But we'll go to number 3.
This one has the least amount of lyrics, but I saved it for last because
this is a new game. I'm just trying to be a sleuth here, you know. So I'm putting my thought process out there as we go through this. So, but if this one's even shorter, that throws out my whole theory.
So this one is by Scuzz Twitley, and it's called "Keep Your Hands Off My PBR." You can spit on my pickup truck, call my ma a lousy whore, leave a flaming bag of dog shit out my trailer door, but don't go messing with my Pabst Blue Ribbon, because then you gone way too far.
Oh boy. Well, here's the thing. So, if you design this game well, that's the one that sounds like it's absolutely fake, but it's the one that is actually real. Like like if you put these, that would be the one that is supposed to be like, well, of course, Skiz Twitley isn't the real one. But I feel like, because that's so ridiculous, that it almost has to be a real one. You know, like, what did we have? We had Jake Combs or something like that. That's got to be real. I mean, that sounded real.
Luke. Yeah, we got Luke Combs, Billy Whitehead, and Scuzz Twitley.
Man, I want to say it's Scuzz Twitley because it's the most absurd one, but I gotta go with number 2 as being the lie.
Damn it! You got me.
Yes! But you did a great job putting that, that was, oh man, because Scuzz Twitley, I'm like, oh really, you're going to give me 2 good names, like normal names, and then Scuzz Twitley, and the obviously made up one, right? But no, it's so much better that that's real.
I want to read you just a little more lyrics from Keep Your Hands Off My PBR, because they're pretty amazing.
Yeah, hell yeah.
So the chorus, by the way, is keep your hands off my PBR. But then, so a little more verse here. You can bang my little sister like a drum in a big parade. You can hand me a big old cup of piss and tell me it's lemonade. You can hide a riled up
Shut the fuck up.
I'm serious. You can hide a riled up rattlesnake in my grandma's cookie jar. Keep your hands off my PBR. You can call Clint. You can call Clint Eastwood a homo. You can say Chuck Norris is queer. You can claim John Wayne was a fan of cock, but you keep your hands off my fucking beer.
Dude, I am so listening to Scuzz Twitley tonight.
Everyone should. It's pretty great. And the video for it is fantastic.
That was really well done. That was nice. I do have to tell you, and this really didn't inform my decision with the length of lyrics, but this is actually so with some of the jobs I do online, we have to write things to fake out AI. And one of the ways that AI can tell that like an answer is the right one versus the wrong one, if you give them like a set of, like if you give an AI a question and then 3 different answers, right? And 2 of those answers are like kind of short and one's really long. Like the AI typically lends itself to go for the one that is written differently than the other ones because it'll show, so what you want to do is kind of like you put the same, I'm not explaining myself well at all, but there's a trick there with like how our brains work a little bit. It's just something I thought was an interesting little tidbit. No hate on the game, that was fantastic. It just a little nugget there at the end.
I was kind of
Twitley is the real Scuzz Twitley was real. Fuck that.
Yeah, I was hoping you'd think that maybe with the first one I was getting like extra creative and I just rambled for too long, but no, that one's real too. But
well, see, it just there were certain themes and there was certain hell yeah. Well, now we got a competition going. Now it's gonna be like I gotta fucking get this guy.
Yeah.
Well, right, yeah, because we're gonna have to go back and forth with this, but that's fucking fun. That was some fun stuff.
Well, you want to land this balloon? You got one for the road?
You're damn right, man. I think that that's a really great place to move on from. And so I had a little bit of trouble last Sunday. I wrecked a snowmobile. We call it a snow machine up here in Alaska, but I think more people call it a snowmobile, so we'll go with that. Actually, I just want to say quickly on that whole snowmobile snow machine thing. I try to adjust what word I use based on who I'm talking to, and it gets very difficult. And then I think because most Americans, I only speak one language. It's I can barely keep vernacular of 2 different regions together. How do people even know 2 different languages? I can't keep snowmobile and snow machine straight. Mm-hmm. But anyways, kudos to all you bilingual motherfuckers out there. But here's the thing that happened. Sorry. little break. So what happened was I was leading my boss with the dog team, and I arrived at a part on the trail that was a very big dip, and I was